G'day, thanks for watching another Brett Johnson quickie point and shoot camera review. This one a Samsung Fino 105S 38 to 105 zoom. Different to the earlier Samsung, it doesn't have a Schneider-Kreuznach lens on it, but it's got a Samsung lens and it's okay. Well featured camera, data back, diopter control, some flash control, infinity focusing control. So towards the end of the days, these point and shoot cameras got pretty damn good. Probably when they got the good lenses on them, like the one I featured earlier that had the Schneider-Kreuznach on it, probably as good as many of the SLRs and rangefinders from 10 or 20 years earlier. The problem is the point and shoots built to a price tended to have low max shutter speeds and low max apertures, didn't stop all the way down to f22. They'd be at f12 or 14. I'm not sure what the specs on this one is. So you could find that you'd run out of exposure. Some days you'd put a 400 ISO film in it and it was being grossly overexposed, or the camera didn't work at all. That doesn't matter to me because I just shoot film with abandonment, if that's the word. Because my theory is the more photos you take, the more good photos you get. And I buy my own film in bulk and bulk load it because it's fun. I develop my own film because it's fun. I scan my own film because it's the worst thing in the entire world. I hate film scanning, but I'm not ready for an enlarger yet. I actually do my own colour, black and white and slide film. Doesn't seem to matter. There's such good chemistry around these days that it's so easy to develop it yourself. And by the way, you get a huge buzz when out of the tank comes negatives with real pictures on them. So you can make film photography relatively cheap. And I just love it. It's a craft and I enjoy doing it. But yes, back to why does it not really matter these point and shoots have limitations? Well, as long as you understand the limitations, you also know when to change films, shoot off some shots and put the right ISO film for the conditions. In saying that, and I'm going to come soon to reviewing some plastic fantastic SLRs from the late 90s, early noughties, and they're a lot more flexible. Not because you can change lenses, but because they've got higher max shutter speeds and higher, or more stop down apertures, and you've got more flexibility. And while I think about flexibility, I was just going over some photographs I took recently in some high contrast areas where the highlight areas were +5 of the low light areas +5 stops. And I looked at my Olympus OMD EM1 Mark III results, and I looked at my Pentax 645 medium format film camera results with Ektar, and the Ektar just eats digital for dynamic range, is so much better for dynamic range still. So there we go, some more thoughts, because as you know, if you've watched my other videos, I start off with a camera review and then we end up talking about space travel. Well, it's not that bad, but I just talk about photography. So another quickie review and some talks about photography. A Samsung Fino 105S 38 to 105. 105 means the zoom goes out to 105mm, and most of them start at 38 unless they're called SW, and then they start at 28. Good little camera. Thanks for watching. Please like. Many more camera reviews coming. Bye.